G'day guys, Aussie Bloke here. Hope you're all doing well. So what I'd like to go over today are the two words for the word for, and they are para, P-A-R-A, para, and por, P-O-R. And it's a little bit different when you're using these words in Spanish. Obviously in English we just use the word for. It's very versatile. You don't really have to think about it too much. Whereas when you're saying for in Spanish, you do need to think about whether you're going to use para or por, as it's very important to use each one in the correct context. Now, the words para and por do have a few meanings in Spanish and can be used in various situations, but we'll just go over the most commonly used situations and meanings for those today. And to start with, we'll just look at the word para. So basically, you use the word para or for when you're doing something for someone, or if you have something for someone. So what exactly do I mean by this? So for example, if you wanted to say, I'm going to do it for him, then you would say, voy a hacerlo para él. I'm going to do it for him. And if you wanted to say, they are going to do it for them, then that would be van a hacerlo para ellos. And then let's say you wanted to say, I'm going to do it for you, then that would be voy a hacerlo para ti. Just as I said that last one, the para ti, or for you, I just realized that I never mentioned that when you do something for someone and you need to use the pronoun for you or tu, the tu changes and the you becomes an I and it just becomes ti. So anyway, I think you guys get the idea. Now I'll just run through a few more examples. So let's say you wanted to say, we're going to do it for you. How would you say that? Vamos a hacerlo para ti. Vamos a hacerlo para ti. And if you wanted to say, I'm going to do it for her, voy a hacerlo para ella. Voy a hacerlo para ella. And if you wanted to say, they are going to do it for him, van a hacerlo para él. Van a hacerlo para él. And he's going to do it for us, va a hacerlo para nosotros. Or él va a hacerlo para nosotros. And as I mentioned before, the word para can also be used for when you have something for someone. You have that thing para that person. So what's an example of this? Let's say you wanted to say, what do you have for me? Then first of all, we'll need the word for what, which in Spanish is que, Q-U-E. So again, if you wanted to say, what do you have for me? Then that would be que tienes para mí? What do you have for me? So with all that in mind, if you wanted to say, what do you have for us? Just speaking to someone one-on-one, how would you say that? ¿Qué tienes para nosotros? ¿Qué tienes para nosotros? And if you wanted to say, what do they have for him? ¿Qué tienen para él? ¿Qué tienen para él? And what do we have for them? ¿Qué tenemos para ellos? ¿Qué tenemos para ellos? And what do I have for us? ¿Qué tengo para nosotros? ¿Qué tengo para nosotros? So moving along to the word por, and you use the word por is when you're wanting to thank someone for doing something. So you would say, for example, gracias por, thank you for doing whatever it is that they did. And another meaning of the word por is because of. So, for example, if you wanted to say, I'm going to do it because of them, then that would be, voy a hacerlo por ellos. I'm going to do it because of them. So, with that in mind, now if you wanted to say, they're going to do it because of us, how would you say that? Van a hacerlo por nosotros. Van a hacerlo por nosotros. And we're going to do it because of her. Vamos a hacerlo por ella. Vamos a hacerlo por ella. And he's going to do it because of me. Va a hacerlo por mí. Va a hacerlo por mí. Or él va a hacerlo por mí. And we're not going to do it because of him. No vamos a hacerlo por él. No vamos a hacerlo por él. Now, another meaning for the word por can also be when you're wanting to go through something. You have to enter por, whatever that thing might be. So what exactly do I mean by this? Let's say, for example, you wanted to say, you have to enter through the door. Now, first of all, the word for enter in this case would be entrar, and then the door would be la puerta. So that would be, you have to enter through the door. Tienes que entrar por la puerta. So now with that in mind, let's say you wanted to say, we have to enter through the door. How would you say that? Tenemos que entrar por la puerta. Tenemos que entrar por la puerta. And I have to enter through the door. Tengo que entrar por la puerta. Tengo que entrar por la puerta. And he has to enter through the door. Tiene que entrar por la puerta. Or él tiene que entrar por la puerta. Alright guys, that's what I've got for you today. Hope that was all relatively straightforward. As I mentioned before, the words para and port do have other meanings as well that we'll go over in future lessons, but the ones I've outlined today are by far the most commonly used ones. So you should have a pretty good idea about how those words work now. Anyway guys, we'll see you on the next one.